How to use the values question protocol. This allows you to answer values-based questions by using the ANSWER acronym. A. Affirm the asker. N. Note that it's a values question. S. State the facts. W. What is the range of values or beliefs about this in the community? E. Encourage talking to family, faith leaders, and other trusted adults. R. Remain available and check that you have answered the question. This is Emma. She is a teen educator working with Planned Parenthood. This is Leo. He is a teen curious about sexual health.
So I was wondering, when is the right time to have sex?
It sounds like Leo has just asked a classic values question. Let's see how Emma applies the ANSWER acronym.
Thanks for asking. That's actually a great question. There could be a lot of different answers to this question because folks have different values or beliefs around sex. First, let's define what we mean when we're talking about sex. I assume we're talking about oral sex, which is mouth to penis or mouth to vulva, vaginal sex, which is penis to vagina, or anal sex, which is penis to anus. Some folks may say that once you're in a healthy, committed relationship, that's the right time to have sex. Other folks will say that once you're married is the right time, and other people will even argue that casual sex is just as healthy as waiting till marriage. There are even people who are going to say that teens shouldn't have sex at all just because of their age, and there are people who will argue back that being ready for sex has more to do with your thoughtfulness and mindfulness rather than your age. What's true across the board is that the only person who can make the decision is you. So I highly encourage you talking to a trusted adult in your life, rather that be an adult, a parent, a relative, or someone from your religious affiliation if you have one. Another great person to talk to is you and your partner or partners. So asking them, are we ready for this? Is this something we want? Am I being coerced into this decision? Are we ready to prepare for the consequences should there be an STD or an unwanted pregnancy? These are all really important questions to ask ourselves if we're deciding if we're ready for sex.
Thank you. You've given me a lot to think about.
Yeah, thanks for asking again, and if you have any more questions, let me know.
Okay.
Emma did a good job. Let's see how 3 educators handle the same question.
This is a really common question that a lot of people wonder about, so I'm really glad someone asked. This is a complicated question because it is values-based. Depending on who you ask, people will give you different answers depending on their own personal values.
When thinking about sex, we should be clear that people mean a lot of different things when they say that word. Right now, I'm talking about oral, vaginal, or anal sex. Oral sex is mouth to the vulva or penis. Vaginal sex is a penis or finger in the vagina, and anal sex is a penis or finger in the anus. And we know that people decide to have sex for a lot of different reasons, but what's important is to really think about all the different potential outcomes. For example, would a person feel different about themselves or a partner after having sex? Is there a risk of causing a pregnancy or of becoming pregnant? And is there a risk of contracting an STD or of giving an STD? And there's a range of belief about this too. Some people believe that it really isn't okay for a teen or a young person to have sex, whereas other people believe it's perfectly fine for a teenager to engage in sexual activity. And some people think that only married people should have sex, or people who are in a committed relationship, whereas other people believe that casual sex and hookups are just fine.
Since this is a question that many people have different beliefs about, I recommend that you talk to the people that are most important to you in your lives and find out what they believe. You might also ask yourself some questions like, do I really want to have sex right now? Am I feeling pressured? How might this decision impact your future plans? What about pregnancy and STDs? Do you know how to protect yourself from those? And how might you be able to communicate with your partner about what you want and need? The bottom line is this is a really personal question that everyone has to make for themselves. It's easier if you can take the time to think through how the decision might impact yourself and your relationships. I hope I've answered your question, and if not, please keep asking.
Let's see how this would sound in the classroom. This is Molly and Nathan.
So, when's the right time to have sex?
That's a really good question. I'm glad you asked it. We get that one kind of a lot, actually. And that one could mean when's like the right or best time to have sex with a specific person for the first time, or or just having sex for the first time in general. So either way that works, it really depends on someone's range of beliefs there. So really depending on like cultural norms and like values and beliefs. And that could mean that someone might want to be like emotionally in a certain state before having sex for the first time, or they might want to wait till they're married. Another person might never want to have sex, and another person might want to like wait till a specific age or time in their life. It really depends on the person. One really important thing about it though is that everyone needs to consent to having sex. So that means that everyone involved wants to have sex to begin with, communicates that, and also that no one feels like pressured or forced into doing anything. Yeah, and because that one's kind of like a vague answer, it doesn't really have like a hard yes or no answer to it, I really encourage you to talk to someone who sort of shares your beliefs and values so that you can sort of suss out a little bit like what it means to you personally. And also, if you have any other questions or like want me to be a little like more clear, you can definitely ask me anytime.
Cool, thank you.
You've just seen how you can apply the values question protocol in the classroom and elsewhere. These types of questions can sometimes feel a little uncomfortable, but they are nonetheless important.